50 and over dating. Turn back the clock. Have fun. Sure, 50 and over dating has its challenges, but not so much if we are wise enough to avoid the dating mistakes of our youth. As teenagers, our hormones often dictate when we start dating, but hormones rarely have anything to do with over 50 dating. Whether we are dating for the first time in high school or for the first time as a single over age 50. One of the biggest challenges is to figure out if we are truly ready to date. Although our wants and needs are sure to be different some 35 years later. Strictly being single isn't a good enough reason on its own to jump into the dating game. As a person pushing 50 or beyond, are you truly ready to date? More and more people are saying no to marriage and yes to the solitary life. In fact, there are now more than 100 million single people of all ages in North America. A CBC television documentary reports that 1 out of every 3 households in Canada are now single-occupant dwellings. Also, in most major cities in the United States, slightly more than half of the population are living alone. While these people may be saying no thanks to marriage, it doesn't mean they are also saying no thanks to dating. As a result, more and more people clearly want nothing more than casual dating. Or they are becoming increasingly particular and patient in finding their future mate. Either way, the dating scene has never been more crowded with prospects. It also allows seniors to avoid dating mistakes in our past. We now have the luxury to figure out 1. What we want out of our dating experience. 2. What we want in a long-term relationship or possibly even marriage. Finally, dating can be done strictly on your terms, with no compromise and totally at your convenience. When you are ready and not before. Peer pressure dating. In our youth, not dating seems awkward when most of our friends are dating. So we might be inclined to surrender to peer pressure and date before we are ready. Amazingly, the same holds true for single seniors who become wary of being the oddball at a dinner party of couples. The result can be that we capitulate and agree to a blind date, or we date someone at the prompting of peer pressure who we might not date otherwise. As a solo senior, dating at the urging of family or friends or work associates is to turn back the clock to teenage dating. What a scary thought. By age 50, you have enough life experience to guide you the rest of the way, including what kind of person you may want to share that journey with you. You have finally earned the right to follow your heart and dismiss any and all influence from others. Fear of rejection. Do you remember being mortified at being turned down for a date? Or even worse, being told that there would not be a second date? Such was the traumatic life of a teenager. Here's a newsflash. Rejection has no age restriction. It can be just as traumatic for the 50 and over dating crowd. One of the risks of senior dating, just like way back when, is that we may get rejected. Or we may have the unpleasant task of doing the rejecting. Is this potential assault to your sensitivities stopping you from playing the dating game? While it may not be easy to convince a distraught teen that his or her broken heart will surely mend, the dating over 50 crowd has maturity to help ease the pain. And we also have reality on our side, such as 1. The numbers game. With more than 25 million singles over age 50 in North America and some 10,000 boomers retiring every day for the next 15 or so years, there has never been a better time to date or find a mate. Suddenly, what was once like finding a needle in a haystack has been replaced by plenty of fish in the dating pool. 2. Life experience. Unlike our youth, we now know what we want in life and where we want to go for the balance of it. Dating is less of a crapshoot. We know what kind of person we are and what type of person we seek as a soulmate. Even better, we now have the maturity and patience to avoid kissing a lot of frogs on the way to finding our Cinderella or Prince Charming. Finally, dating is on our terms, enabling us to date who we want until we find who we want. Thanks to life experience and maturity, rejection is merely a mild inconvenience along the way rather than a devastating heartbreaker. Fear of breaking up. Here again, life experience and maturity are our saviors. In our teens, nothing good seems to come from a breakup, so we agonize about it for a good while. As the Neil Sedaka song goes, breaking up is hard to do, but it's far less of an emotional hardship in our 50s and beyond. In fact, in most instances, we not only have the maturity to deal with it better, we have the ability to see it coming and recognize that a breakup may be in our best interests. As a teenager, all breakups seem catastrophic. As a mature adult, a breakup is often seen as a saver of our valuable time and another chance to get it right. Our recovery threshold is much quicker, so we are more inclined to jump back into the dating pool. Nobody likes a breakup, but thanks to maturity and life experience, we old fogies are more apt to say next and move on. What do I want in a date? Since raging hormones do much of our thinking as teenagers, we do very little long-range thinking when it comes to dating or finding a mate. Our attraction is purely cosmetic and we rarely look beyond this Friday's high school dance. If he or she makes our heart rate rise, that's cause enough for a date. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But even as teenagers, it's not the number of boys or girls we date. More important is finding the right one we can call our girlfriend or boyfriend for an extended period of time. It's like a dress rehearsal for when it's time to find our future significant other. Our youthful thoughts are consumed with his or her looks, how he or she treats us, especially in front of others. And is he or she the one I lose my virginity to? Thank goodness these are not the dating priorities for boomers and beyond. We have been there and done that. Rather, our mission is to find that special compatible someone who shares our likes, our values, our unfinished dreams and goals. To teenagers, dating is the end-all and be-all. To most of us over 50, dating is simply the vehicle we use to help us find the last life partner we will ever need. What do I want in a mate? Ask this of a teenager and you will likely get a look of utter confusion. Their thinking rarely goes beyond a date. They have no laundry list of qualities they are looking for. Seniors, on the other hand, tend to have longer range thinking than merely a first date. Today, because of online dating sites and the many ways of communicating in advance of a date, a first date is more likely granted to someone who appears to fit the bill according to our well-thought-out list of qualities we are looking for in a mate. After age 50, life is too short to be a serial dater unless you have no desire to be in a relationship. For most of us, we know exactly what type of person we are looking for. And we now have the ability to gather the information we need to determine if you are even worthy of a first date. Once bitten, twice shy. Maturity is a wonderful thing. Think back to the dating disasters of your school years. After a breakup or even a date that didn't go well, didn't it seem like your world had ended? It didn't, of course, but one of the few benefits of over 50 dating is the ability to minimize the trauma and move on. These days, you have the ability to arrange 7 dates in 7 nights if you so wish. So 1 or 2 dating disappointments is barely a setback, never mind a disaster. In your maturity, you have the ability to realize that a failed date may have just saved you a lot of time and misery. With your life experience and knowledge as to what you want in a mate, each first date is nothing more than a step closer to you finding your soulmate. Try explaining that to a young teenager. Times have changed, which means that things have changed for age 50 and over dating. It's all for the better, of course. After all, as much as we would love to be young again, mature dating still gives us the thrill and excitement, but without all the heartbreaking moments of our dating youth. For more great 50+ dating information, visit the link below this video.